All right. Hi, I'm going to do a quick little preview of a few of my journals that I've used. I haven't finalized my journaling method, but I'm just doing it. But there's a few ideas that you can use in journaling or notebooking. So the whole point of notebooking, and I want to show you, I know it's going to be hard to see because everything's backwards on TikTok, but it's called the Living Page. I teach a Charlotte Mason way of learning through notebooks and living books. This is a great example, and I think I've shared this before. This is a great book to show you examples of how to teach journaling or notebooking to students or to yourself. And they're examples of keeping a journal of your nature, of observation. So outside, I've noticed, and I should have been doing this. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't, but outside I've noticed that the mockingbirds were overtaking my backyard for maybe like a month. And then previously there were nothing but crows and black phoebes. And these are all birds. And in the winter time or when it was cooler, you had not finches. Well, yeah, we had house finches, and then we had sparrows. So we had the English sparrows. So keeping a journal of maybe like a little graph, like a little notebook of like you list the birds, tally mark every time you see them in what month. That's a way of journaling, and that's like a nature kind of way of journaling. But let me show you my journals. These are a few of my notebooks. So I have a notebook that this was specifically I took from my daughter. She was messing with it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it. This notebook is kind of like my vocabulary book slash fun facts for theology. And I'm gonna go ahead because there's a lot that I don't know of. I was learning about Reformed theology, Calvinism, and then I was like things to look up. And I started making margins just so that I can have notes and like page numbers, whatever I want to do for all of my journals. So I got this idea really from the Simply Charlotte Mason. A lot of their curriculum, they have little margins on the side, whether it's the right side or the left side. And there's extra like little notes pertaining, I don't know, when you're going through their character development or you're going through any of their curriculum. I actually have one of their stuff here. This is their book. Who is this? Tennyson. So this is going to be about their poem book on Tennyson. You have the poem, and on the side you have a margin, and it's always like the notes. So I started doing that. This is honestly has been easy for me just to organize my thoughts. I am scatterbrained. So having like a margin just to put like a little footnote of whatever I'm doing or learning, that helps. So let me show you my commonplace book. I just started doing this. I actually bought this for my daughter, but she didn't want to, I don't know, she's still learning. So let's just say, for instance, I'm going through Fantastes, and what I like about this commonplace book is that you can do the whole book, one page, just one book. And you could see my quote was long. It was a long quote. But on the side, I kind of ignored the page number. This is supposed to be notes. This is not the notes. This is the actual excerpt that I'm notating or I'm commonplacing. And then on the side, I put down, this is a fairy story. Cosmo, I know that that's the main character. There is something magical about the mirror. Nature as a noun. So in the book, nature was capitalized. So I was like, okay, nature is, it's living. So and then I always put a heart on all of my little journals. Do I have my other one here? I might. Let me go see if I can grab it. But I put a heart just for my reference, just to show that this is the beginning of that page. And I always put on the page number, I will put down, I'll highlight it a different color. So for instance, here, Piercing Heaven is a prayer book that I'm reading from the Puritans. And I change my handwriting all the time because I get bored. But I put down here, just like the page number of this book, Fantastes by George MacDonald. I put Piercing Heaven, and since it's many authors, I put the editor's name, and then I put down the page number of and what the title was for this prayer. And I only used only an excerpt of that prayer because it was a long prayer, but I wanted to specifically write this one down. So the author was Joseph Alleine, and it's a prayer. So that's an example. Let me show you how I commonplace my writing for my Bible reading. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to open up my Bible. I got a Bible. I wish it was ESV, but it's a CSB, which I like. But I like that there's a margin here. Can you see? For writing, doing, whatever, writing. But my Bible reading gets a little messy. And I think it's because I have a hard time looking at the words. There you go. So a lot of the times I have to commonplace what I read. Oops, sorry. Here's some margins. And I like using the margins for my notes. So I like that my Bible, I can do the same thing in a way. And then I will just commonplace it. So I'm going to show you how it looks on this end. So here, same thing. I put a heart just to show this is the beginning. And this is the Bible verse, the book, the chapter, and the verse. And so I will just write down what I liked. It's not even so much I liked. I'm like, oh, I want this passage. I am writing it down. And this is all straight from the Bible. And it's going on there. So this is my way of commonplacing Bible. So I have one notebook just for Bible scriptures. And I always pair it with this one. And this is just at home. The She Reads Bible. Okay. And then I have my commonplace. And then I have a narration notebook. I haven't used it in a while, but I'm going to show you. It's been I used it last year, but I'm going to start using it for my history. I want to go ahead and read some history. And let's just say, I'm going to show you how it looks. So here you put your book title, your date, your notes, and your little narration, and then you could do any little sketches. I think last year I narrated. So I was trying to figure out how to use it. I didn't know how I wanted to use it. So let's say right here. Oh, this was more than last year. The Immortal Life on Henrietta Lacks. And these are the notes. Just like the margin, you have your notes and your little narration. I think I just did the introduction for that part here. And I didn't commonplace anything else. But I did Home Education from Charlotte Mason. I did mythology. I put my notes down here, my little narration. Down here, you could put any extras or sketches, but these were things that I wanted to just write notes from that portion of the preface of Home Education. So you can really make it. That's how I got the idea of just doing the margins. And I haven't used this. I'm going to reuse it again because I do like the layout. Home Education again. Ooh, and then the Unseen Realm, I was about to read it, and then I got distracted. This is 2003, my daughter was born. In 2022, I'm sorry. But she was maybe about a year old, and that year was crazy. But I like this. I like the color, and I like that it's large. So this is like a good study. So narration for my study, that's what I'm treating it like. And then if you don't have these books, I found that like the one subject notebooks, I'm using this for my daughter, it has a margin already. So you can go ahead and just use a regular notebook as your either your commonplace, or if you want to keep a log of your nature, or just a log of your favorite poems, whatever it may be, you have a margin where you can add the page number or maybe vocabulary words you want to look up and just write it all down. And then even right here, you have the line right here. If you want to separate, an idea is just to put the date here in the title, or the date here, or right here on the edge, you can do like a marker and saying, this is philosophy. This commonplace is like philosophy. And then this is large enough, you can like maybe paste a picture or draw pictures. those are the ideas, and that's how I'm using notebooks. So that's pretty much what I'm using in around the house. And for church, it's different because we have the kids in the service, and a lot of times I don't get a chance to write notes. I just have to listen later on.